Hare Krishna. Raju Prabhuji, Mani Mataji, Lavanya, Dandapanam. All glory Shishla Prabhupada Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna Prabhupada.
We'll start now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuramitam Yena. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale. Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Paschatya Deshatarane Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukhaṁ karoti vācālaṁ pangam langayate girivat krupātamaham vande Shri Vrundena Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Apavitra Pavitro Vasarva Sangatavyo Yasmare Pundari Kaksham Sabhakya Vyantram Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. So today we are continuing reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 6th chapter, the universal creation. That's where the discussions between Maitreya and Vidura will continue, okay? So the Bhagavatam praise will start. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayat Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhakti Naishti Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankaja Nabhaya Namah Pankaja Marine Namah Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankaja. Yes, Vishali. Let us quickly read the sections from Bhagavata Sudhamani. Then we'll reading from like that. Yeah, let me read these sections. So, creation of the universe, that is the title of the 6th chapter of 3rd canto. Anyone likes to read?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, chadam.
Yeah. 3.6 Creation of universal form. 1 to 10 Development of the gigantic universal form. Gigantic, Prabhuji. Gigant.
ఇట్లనే చెప్తారు జిజాంటింగ్ or gigantic. Okay.
Gigantic, okay, universal form. Seeing the creation process suspended, the Lord sent his conceive energy into the elements and gradually the Virat Rupa manifested. 11 to 26 Manifestation of different demigods from the universal form. Different demigods appeared when their respective location are differentiated from the Virat Rupa. 27 to 34 Development of planets, living entities and varnas. 27 to 29 three planetary system and their residents. 30 to 33 the four varnas. Can you go up, scroll up, Prabhuji? 35 to 40 Maitreya Muni felt unworthy to describe the Lord's unlimited glories. 35 No one can estimate the Virat Rupa's potency. 36 In spite of my inability, I glory Lord Hari. 37 Highest perfection, simply glorifying, hearing the Lord's glories. 38 to 40 Demigods, Brahma and even the Lord himself cannot understand Lord's glories. He is beyond words, mind and ego. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So last week we have done until this particular verse. I think 6th one. Let me check. 10th one. We'll continue from 10th one. So this is the section development of gigantic universal form, seeing the creation process suspended. Lord sent his cohesive energy into the elements and gradually the Virat Rupa manifested. We will continue from 10th verse. Yeah, let us read. Sapan Prabhu, please continue.
Yes, Prabhuji. The Supreme Lord is the super soul of all the demigods entrusted with the task of constructing the cosmic manifestation. Being thus prayed to by the demigods, he thought to himself and thus manifested the gigantic form for their understanding. But the impersonalists are captivated by the gigantic universal form of the Supreme. They think that the control behind this gigantic manifestation is an imagination. Intelligent persons, however, can estimate the value of the cause by observing the wonders of the effects. For example, the individual human body does not develop from the womb of the mother independently, but because the living entity, the soul, is within the body. Without the living entity, a material body cannot automatically take shape or develop. When any material object displays development, it must be understood that there is spiritual soul within the manifestation. The gigantic universe has developed gradually, just as the body of a child develops. The conception of the transcendence enters within the universe is therefore logical. As the materialists cannot find the soul and the super soul within the heart, similarly, for want of sufficient knowledge, they cannot see the supreme soul is the cause of the universe. The Lord is therefore described in the Vedic language as Avan Manasa Gocharaha, beyond the conception of the words and minds. Due to a poor fund of knowledge, the mental speculators try to bring the Supreme Lord within the purview of words and minds, but the Lord refuses to be so intelligible. The speculator has no adequate words or minds to gauge the infinity of the Lord. The Lord is called Adokshaja, or the person who is beyond perception by the blunt, limited potency of our senses. One cannot perceive the transcendental name or form of the Lord by mental speculation. The mundane PhDs are completely unable to speculate on the Supreme with their limited senses. Such attempts by the puffed up PhDs are compared to the philosophy of the frog in the well. A frog in a well was informed of the gigantic Pacific Ocean, and he began to puff himself up in order to understand or measure the length and breadth of the Pacific Ocean. Ultimately, the frog burst and died. The title PhD can also be interpreted as plough department, a title meant for the tillers in the paddy field. The attempt of the tillers in the paddy field to understand the cosmic manifestation and the cause behind such wonderful work can be compared to the endeavor of the frog in the well to calculate the measurement of the Pacific Ocean. The Lord can reveal himself only to a person who is submissive and engages in its transcendental loving service. The demigods controlling the elements and ingredients of the universal affairs prayed to the Lord for guidance, and thus he manifested his gigantic form, as he did at the request of Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Nice. So Prabhupada writes, frog in the well. So these PhDs, one word, one sentence, so nice. The mundane PhDs are completely unable to speculate the Supreme with their limited senses. Such attempts by puffed up PhDs are compared to the philosophy of the frog in the well. And another thing, a frog in a well was informed of the gigantic Pacific Ocean and he began to puff himself up in order to understand or measure the length and breadth of the Pacific Ocean. ఏం చేస్తుంది ఒక కప్ప అందులోనే ఉండి అంతవరకు ఆలోచిస్తుంది దాని లిమిటెడ్ పర్వ్యూ ఇక్కడ రాసింది సి విత్ ఇన్ ద పర్వ్యూ mental speculators within the purview of their minds, how can they understand the unlimited? Our mind is limited, right? So Krishna is unlimited. Our mind is limited. You cannot think at some point. That's why achintya, inconceivable potency, inconceivable. Conceive means we can able to guess, or we can able to understand, we can able to think. Inconceivable means beyond our conception, beyond our thoughts. And last statement is very important. The Lord can reveal himself only with this person. only to a person who is submissive. Underline statement. The Lord can reveal himself only to a person who is submissive and who engages in transcendental loving service. Submissive అనేది submission, submit ourselves at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Submit our ego, submit our intelligence, submit our mind, everything. The demigods controlling the elements and ingredients of universal affairs, spiritual Lord guidance, and thus the demigods controlling the elements of controlling the elements and ingredients of universal affairs pray to the Lord for guidance. అంటే సో దీన్ని బట్టి ఏమర్థం చేయండి మనకు demigods also servants of Krishna. Unless Krishna is given guidance, they won't be able to create, they won't be able to do anything. Tene Brahma Hrudaya Adikavaye, that is there, right? So source is Krishna, that's it. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvita. Let us continue. Okay. You want to read, Lavanya? Are you able to read?
Yeah. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Continue, yeah.
11th verse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Translation and purport by A.C. BhaktiVaibhava Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Maitreya said, "You may now hear from me how the Supreme Lord separated himself into the diverse forms of the demigods after the manifestation of gigantic universal form." Purport. Purport by A.C. BhaktiVaibhava Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Purport. The demigods are separated parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, as are all other living entities. The only difference between the demigods and the ordinary living entities is that when the living entities are rich in pious acts of devotional service to the Lord, and when their desire to lord it over material energy has vanished, they are promoted to the posts of demigods, who are entrusted by the Lord with executing the management of the universal affairs.
Oh, nice words. Executing the management of universal affairs. Departmental jobs. Surya, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, etc. Thank you, Ravana. So let me ask who else there. Sandhya Mata, please continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Agni or heat separated from his mouth, and all the directors of material affairs entered into it in their respective positions. By the energy, the living entity expresses himself in words. Purport. The mouth of the gigantic universal form of the Lord is the source of the speaking power. The director of the fire element is the controlling deity or the Adidaiva. The speeches delivered are Adhyatma or bodily functions, and the subject matter of the speeches is material productions or the Adibhuta principle.
Thank you, Mata.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Text 13. Let me see. Navanita Mata, please continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the palette of the gigantic form was separately manifested, Varuna, the director of water in the planetary systems, entered therein, and thus the living entity has the facility to taste everything with his tongue.
Yeah, one more also.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Read Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation. When the Lord's two nostrils separately manifested themselves, the dual Ashwini Kumaras entered them in their proper positions, and because of this, the living entities can smell the aromas of everything.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Ashwini Kumaras, nostrils. In sense devatas, yeah. Sense devatas, yes. Each of our bodily organs run by different demigods. Yeah. Sirisha Mata, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, yeah. Please read.
Translation. Thereafter, the two eyes of gigantic form of the Lord were separately manifested. The sun, the director of light, entered them with the partial representation of eyesight, and thus the living entities can have vision of forms.
Continue, Mother. 16 also.
Translation. When there was a manifestation of skin separated from the gigantic form, Anila, the deity directing the wind, entered with a partial touch, and thus the living entities can realize a tactile knowledge.
One second. Yes, Mother. Thank you. We'll ask.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Vani Mata, Hare Krishna. I'm not sure. Okay. Again, we'll continue. Raju Prabhu, Mali Chadani.
Prabhuji, I'm driving, Prabhuji. ఇంటికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత I'll be able to read.
Okay. Yeah. Raju Prabhu, continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah. Translation. When the ears of the gigantic form became manifested, all the controlling deities of the direction enter into them with the hearing principles, by which all the living entities hear and take advantage of sound. Purpose. The ear is most important instrument in the body of the living entity. Sound is the most medium for the carrying the message of distant unknown things. The perfection of all sound or knowledge enters to the ear and makes one life perfect. The entire Vedic system of knowledge is received by oral reception only, and thus sound is the most important source of knowledge. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Babaji. Oral reception. Shabda Brahma. Shabdam throne muttam. Sapan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Translation. When there was a separate manifestation of skin, the controlling deities of sensations and their different parts entered into it, and thus the living entities feel itching and happiness due to touch. Purport. For sense perception, there are two principal items, touching and itching, and both of them are controlled by skin and hairs on the body. According to Sri Vishwanatha Chakravarti, the controlling deity of touch is the air passing within the body, and the controlling deity of the hairs on the body is Oshadaya. For the skin, the object of perception is touch, and for the hairs on the body, the object of perception is itching.
Important purpose. For sense perception, there are two principal items, touch and itching, and both of them are controlled by the skin, the hairs on the body. Very important. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the controlling deity of touch is the air passing within the body, and the controlling deity of the hairs on the body is Oshadhya. For the skin, the object of perception is touch, and for hairs on the object on the body, the object of perception is itching. Translation also, when there was a separate manifestation of skin, the controlling deities of sensations of the different parts entered in it, and thus the living entities feel itching and happiness due to touch. That's where skin disease means these two, itching and touching. Very good. Yes. Continue this one also, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Translation. When the genitals of the gigantic form separately became manifest, then Prajapati, the original living creature, entered into them with his partial semen, and thus the living entities can enjoy sex pleasure. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So there are also demigod there. Okay. Prajapati. Yes. Let me read some. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The evacuating channel separately became manifest, and the director named Mitra entered into it with partial organs of evacuation. Thus, the living entities are able to pass stool and urine. Text 21. Thereafter, with the hands of the gigantic form separately became manifested, Indra, the ruler of the heavenly planets, entered into them, and thus the living entity is able to transact business for his livelihood. Text 22. Thereafter, the legs of the gigantic form separately became manifest, and the demigod named Vishnu, not the personality of Godhead, entered with partial movement. This helps the living entity move to his destination. Okay, we'll continue. Mother is Sandhya Mata. Hare Krishna. Okay, and Navanita Mata.
Translation. When the intelligence of the gigantic form separately became manifest, Brahma, the Lord of the Vedas, entered into it with the partial power of understanding, and thus an object of understanding is experienced by the living entities.
Continue.
Okay, Prabhuji. After that, the heart of the gigantic form separatedly manifested itself, and into it entered the moon, demigod with partial mental activity. Thus, the living entity can conduct his mental speculations.
This also, yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation. Thereafter, the materialistic ego of the gigantic form separately manifested itself, and into it entered Rudra, the controller of false ego, with his own partial activities, by which the living entity transacts his objective actions. Purport. The false ego of materialistic identity is controlled by the demigod Rudra, an incarnation of Lord Shiva. Rudra is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord who controls the mode of ignorance within material nature. The activities of the false ego are based on the objective of the body and mind. Most persons conducted by the false ego are controlled by Lord Shiva. When one reaches a finer version of ignorance, he falsely thinks of himself as the Supreme Lord. That egoistic conviction of the conditioned soul is the last snare of the illusory energy which controls the entire material world. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you, Mother. Text 26. Sandhya Mata, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please read.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thereafter, when his consciousness separately manifested itself, the total energy, Mahat Tattva, entered with his conscious part. Thus, the living entity is able to conceive specific knowledge.
Please continue.
Translation. Thereafter, from the head of the gigantic form, the heavenly planets were manifested, and from his legs, the earthly planets, and from his abdomen, the skies separately manifested themselves. Within them, the demigods and the others are also manifested in terms of the modes of material nature.
Thank you, Mata.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Text 28. Rashmi Mata, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji. I will do it on her behalf. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah. Translation. Hello. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that was pronounced.
Yeah, Mata.
Translation. The demigod qualified by the super excellent quality of the mode of goodness are situated in the heavenly planets, whereas the human beings, because of their nature in the mode of passion, live on the earth in company with their subordinates. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 14.14-15, it is said that those who are highly developed in the mode of goodness are promoted to the higher heavenly planetary system, and those who are overpowered by the mode of passion are situated in the middle planetary system, the earth and similar planets. But those who are surcharged with the mode of ignorance are degraded to the lower planetary system or to the animal kingdom. The demigods are highly developed in the mode of goodness, and thus they are situated in the heavenly planets below. Human beings are in animal, although some of them mingle with human society. Cows, horse, dogs, etc. are habituated to living under the protection of human beings. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Continue.
The word atyantikena is very significant is this verse. By development of the mode of goodness of material nature, one can become situated in the heavenly planets. But by excessive development of the mode of passion and ignorance, the human beings indulge in killing the animal who are meant to be protected by mankind. Persons who indulge in unnecessary animal killing have excessively developed in the mode of passion and ignorance and have no hope of advancing to the mode of goodness. They are destined to be degraded to lower status of life. The planetary system are calculated as upper and lower in terms of classes of living entities who live there. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. This verse, let us see. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada pointed out here, Yada sattve pravruddhetu pralayam yati dehabhrut tadottama vidam lokan amalan pratipadyate. 14 chapter 14 verse 14. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains the pure. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. So, in connection with this purport, right? So, the demigods qualified with the super excellent quality of the mode of goodness are situated in the heavenly planets, whereas the human being, because of their nature in the mode of passion, live on the earth in subordinates. So basically, Prabhupada pointed out this particular verse in connection with this verse. So demigods already, they have situated in the mode of goodness. They have elevated. They got this position of, demigods, position of controlling different material energies of Supreme Lord. So here itself, it's confirming from Bhagavad Gita. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets, compares to earthly planets. So below human beings are the animals, although some of them mingle with human society. Cows, horse, dogs, etc. are habituated to living under the protection of the human beings. That's the thing. So lowest status of life. How various statuses of life taken place. Higher planetary systems, middle planetary systems, and lower planetary systems, based on the qualities they situated according to modes of passion, modes of ignorance, and ultimately modes of goodness. 29, text 29. Lavanya, you want to continue?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Text 29. Translation and purport by A.C. BhaktiVaibhava Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Living entities who are associates of Rudra develop in the third mode of material nature or ignorance. They are situated in the sky between the earthly planets and the heavenly planets. Purport. This middle portion of the sky is called Bhuvar Loka, as confirmed by both Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Tagore and Srila Jiva Goswami. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that those who develop in the mode of passion are situated in the middle region. Those who are situated in the mode of goodness are promoted to the regions of the demigods. And those who are situated in the mode of passion are placed in the human society. And those who are situated in the mode of ignorance are placed in the society of animals or ghosts. There are no contradictions in this conclusion. Numerous living entities are distributed all over the universe in different planets and are so situated in terms of their own qualities in the modes of material nature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. Text 30. Sirisha Mataji. Sirisha Mataji or Vani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please read.
Translation. O chief of the Kuru dynasty, the Vedic wisdom became manifested from the mouth of the Virat, the gigantic form. Those who are inclined to this Vedic knowledge are called Brahmanas. and they are the natural teachers and spiritual masters of all the orders of society. Purport. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, the four orders of human society developed with the order of the body of the gigantic form. The bodily divisions are the mouth, arms, waist, and legs. Those who are situated on the mouth are called Brahmanas. Those who are situated on the arms are called Kshatriyas. Those who are those are
Mata, we have lost somehow internet issue. Hare Krishna. Is it with me or everyone? Not able to hear, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
yes, Prabhuji, we are not able to hear.
Raju Prabhu? Raju Prabhu?
Yes,
You may
Prabhuji, can I
read.
read? Can I read, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna.
మాత మధ్యలో చదువుతుంటే బ్రేక్ అయింది.
అదే ప్రభుజీ ఆమె కిచెన్ లో ఉంది.
Prabhuji, can I read now?
Again, we start again.
Yeah. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, the four orders of human society developed with the order of the body of the gigantic form. The bodily divisions are the mouth, arms, waist, and legs. Those who are situated on the mouth are called Brahmanas. Those who are situated on the arms are called Kshatriyas. Those who are situated on the waist are called Vaishyas. And those who are situated on the legs are called Shudras. Everyone is situated in the body of the Supreme in his gigantic Vishwarupa form. In terms of the four orders, therefore, no caste is to be considered degraded because of being situated on a particular part of the body. In our own body, we do not show any actual difference in our treatment towards the hands or legs. Each and every part of the body is important, although the mouth is the most important of the bodily parts. If other parts are cut off from the body, a man can continue his life, but if the mouth is cut off, one cannot live. Therefore, this most important part of the body of the Lord is called the sitting place of the Brahmanas, who are inclined to the Vedic wisdom. One who is not inclined to the Vedic wisdom but to mundane offers cannot be called a Brahmana. Even if he is born of a Brahmana family or father, to have a Brahmana father does not qualify one as the Brahmana. The main qualification of a Brahmana is to be inclined to the Vedic wisdom. The Vedas are situated on the mouth of the Lord, and therefore anyone who is inclined to the Vedic wisdom is certainly situated on the mouth of the Lord, and he is a Brahmana. The inclination towards Vedic wisdom is also not restricted to any particular caste or community. Anyone from any family and from any part of the world may become inclined to the Vedic wisdom, and that will qualify him as a real Brahmana.
Big purport. Thank you, Mother. Big purport. We'll give it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We always, and we multiple times read, like, these bodily parts compares to four varnas, right? Our mouth is representing Brahmanas, arms representing Kshatriyas, waist representing what is that? Vaishyas, and legs representing Shudras. Each and every part of the body is important. And mouth, tongue, that is very, very important. That's where Brahmanas, that's where wherever the society leading to the perfect Brahmanas, the society will prevail peace, happiness, and prosperity. If leaders are not good enough, or leaders are not following proper instructions from intellectuals, that's where we see many problems. Somebody put message. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu, joining. Prabhu. So that's the thing. So we'll continue. A real Brahmana from here. We'll continue. Let me ask. Vanimata, now you are able to read? Hare Krishna, Mahoday. Okay.
Can I read?
Chadan.
Yeah, a real Brahmana is a natural teacher or spiritual master. Unless one has Vedic knowledge, one cannot become spiritual master. A perfect knowledge of the Vedas is to know the Lord, the personality of Godhead, and that is the end of Vedic knowledge or Vedanta. One who is situated in the impersonal Brahman and has no information of the Supreme Personality of Godhead may become a Brahmana, but he cannot become spiritual master. He said that in Padma Purana, Satkarma Nipuno Vipro Mantra Tantra Visharadaha Avaishnavo Guruna Syad Vaishnavasya Swa Pacho Guru. An impersonalist can become a qualified Brahmana, but he cannot become a spiritual master unless and until he is promoted to the stage of a Vaishnava or a devotee of personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya, the great authority of Vedic wisdom in the modern age, stated, Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasi Sutra Kene Naya Ehi Krishna Tattva Veta Sehi Guru Haya. A person may be Brahmana or a Sudra or a Sannyasi, but if he happens to be well versed in the science of Krishna, then he fit to become a spiritual master. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 8th chapter, 128 verse. The qualification, then the spiritual master is not to be a qualified Brahmana, but to be well versed in the science of Krishna. One who is conversant with the Vedic wisdom is a Brahmana, and only Brahmana who is a pure Vaishnava and knows all the intricacies of the science of Krishna. Science of Krishna can become spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is one of the frequent words Prabhupada quotes. Ye Krishna Tattvaveta, say Guru Haya. Prabhupada made hippies become happies and they become spiritual masters. Remember that, completely Shudra quality, but because of the Prabhupada purity, because of the Prabhupada's presence, great Acharya, pure devotee of Supreme Lord. With this association, hippies become happies, and ultimately they are spiritual masters, Hey Krishna Tattvaveta, say Guru Haya. Haribo. Thank you, Prabhu. Sapan Prabhu will continue again. We'll read another 10 minutes and we'll continue with our sloka practice.
I think Gaurav Prabhuji also not read Prabhu, I think.
Acha, Gaurav Prabhu, you are able to read? You want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, I can.
Do it.
Translation. Thereafter, the power of protections was generated from the arms of Janjatic Virat ka Roop, and in relation to such power, the Kshatriyas also came in existence by following the Kshatriyas' principle of protecting society from the disturbance of thieves and miscreants. Purport. The Brahmas are recognized by their particular qualification of inclinations toward the transcendental knowledge of Vedic wisdom. So also the Kshatriyas are also recognized by the power to protect society from the disturbing elements of thieves and miscreants. The word Anuvratta is significant. A person who follows the Kshatriya principle by protecting society from thieves and miscreants is also Kshatriya, not the one who is simply born a Kshatriya. The conception of the caste system is always based on quality and not the qualification of birth. Birth is an extraneous consideration. It is not the main feature of the order and divisions. In Bhagavad Gita 18.44, the qualification of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudra are specifically mentioned, and it is understood that all such qualifications are needed before one can be designated as belonging to a particular group.
Continue.
Should I read, Prabhuji? Yeah. Lord Vishnu is also mentioned as a Purusha in all Vedic scriptures. Sometimes the living entities are also mentioned as Purushas, although they are essentially Purusha Sakti, Para Sakti, or Para Prakriti, the superior energy of Purusha. Illusioned by the eternal potency of the Purusha, The living entities falsely think of themselves as Purusha, although they are actually have no qualification. The Lord has the power to protect. One of the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, the first has the power to create, the second has the power to protect, and the third has power to destroy. The word Purusha is significant in these words because the Kshatriya are expected to represent the Purusha, Lord of giving protections to the Prajas, or all those who are born in the land and water. Protection is therefore meant for both man and animal. In modern society, the Prajas are not protected from hand of thieves and miscreants. The modern democratic state, which has no Kshatriya, is a government of the Vaishya and Shudra, and not the Brahmanas and Kshatriya as formerly. Maharaja Yudhishthira and his grandson Maharaj Parikshit were typically Kshatriya king, for they gave protection to all men and animals. When the personifications of Kali attempted to kill a cow, Maharaj Parikshit at once prepared himself to kill the miscreants, and the personification of Kali was banished from his kingdom. That is also a sign of Purusha, or the representative of Lord Vishnu. According to Vedic civilization, a qualified Kshatriya monarch is given the respect to the Lord because he represents the Lord by giving protection to the Prajas. Modern elected presidents cannot even give protection from theft cases, and therefore one has to take protection from an insurance company. The problem of modern human society are due to the lack of qualified Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and over-influence of the Vaishyas and Shudras by so-called general franchise. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Imbalance. Vaishyas. Business mentality, not properly administrative, endowed with knowledge. That's not there. Of course, we have a very fortunate leader, Modi, who is well versed with some Vedic literature and following some rules and regulations of devotional service. Majority of the administrators are not endowed with knowledge. Corrupted leaders.
Yes, Prabhu.
Actually, there is one verse I want to refer. Bhagavad Gita 4.13. What is this? Just want to see.
Chaturvainam Maya Srishti.
Okay. Yes, according to Guna Karma, Vibhagasa. Guna and Karma. Of quality and work. Okay, and here 18.41, what is referring here? Brahmana Kshatriya Visham. Sudra Namcha Param Tava Karmani Pravibhaktani Swabhava Prabhavair Gunayadi. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own natures in accordance with the material modes. Okay. So the person situated in the modes, right? Okay. Mata is okay. Navanita Mataji, please continue.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, are you there?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Should I read?
Yeah. Amir Jain, under maximum chadivaru 1-2 times. You start now. Okay.
Translation. The means of livelihood of all persons, namely production of grains and their distribution to the prajas, was generated from the thigh of the Lord's gigantic form. The mercantile men who take charge of such execution are called Vaishyas. Purport. Human society means of living is clearly mentioned here as visa or agriculture and the business of distributing agricultural products, which involves transportation, banking, etc. Industry is an artificial means of livelihood, and large-scale industry especially is the source of all the problems of society. In Bhagavad Gita also, the duties of the Vaishyas who are engaged in visa are stated as cow protection, agriculture, and business. We have already discussed that the human being can safely depend on the cow and agricultural land for this livelihood. The exchange of produce by banking and transportation is a branch of this type of living. The Vaishyas are divided into many subsections. Some of them are called Kshetri or landowners. Some are called Rishana or land tillers. Some of them are called Tilavanik or grain raisers. Some are called Gandhavanik or merchants in spices. And some are called Suvarnavanik or merchants in gold and banking. The Brahmanas are the teachers and spiritual masters. The Kshatriyas protect the citizens from the hands of thieves and miscreants. And the Vaishyas are in charge of production and distribution. The Shudras, the unintelligent class of men who cannot act independently in any of the above mentioned activities, are meant for serving the three higher classes for their livelihood. Formerly, the Brahmanas were given all the necessities of life by Kshatriyas and Vaishyas because they had no time to spend making a living. The Kshatriyas would collect taxes from the Vaishyas and Shudras, but the Brahmanas were exempt from paying income tax or land revenue. That system of human society was so nice that there was no political, social, and economic upheavals. The different caste or varna classification are therefore essential for maintaining a peaceful human society. Prabhuji, why was Brahmanas exempt from paying taxes? Because they would not make any money when the education was given free. They would beg.
Yeah,
Okay.
they depend. They actually they don't work. They share the knowledge, and based on donations, they live.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, different castes and varnas classifications are therefore essential for maintaining a peaceful human society. ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే మన ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తున్నాను, బాడీ సరిగా పనిచేయట్లేదు అనమాట. అంటే ద హెడ్, ద ఆర్మ్స్, ద బెల్లీ అండ్ ద లెగ్స్ అన్ని ప్రాపర్గా పని, అన్నీ అవసరమే. అన్ని వర్ణాలు, 4 వర్ణాస్ equally important to run a peaceful society. So when there is a distressful situation in the society or any problems with the society, means these varnas are not properly situated, or completely business orientation, completely selfish motives. ఒకప్పుడు రామరాజ్యం, ఒకప్పుడు వేదిక్ టైమ్స్లో అంత పీస్ఫుల్ ఎట్లా ఉండే? బికాజ్ ఆల్ దీస్ వర్నాస్ ఫంక్షనింగ్ ప్రాపర్లీ. దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్. ఓకే, సో నౌ చిన్నగా చదువుదాము మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి. ఓకే, నవనీత మాతది ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ ఫస్ట్ పారాగ్రాఫ్ చదవండి.
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation. Thereafter, service was manifested from the legs of the personality of Godhead for the sake of perfecting the religious function. Situated on the legs are the Shudras who satisfy the Lord by service. Purport. Service is the real constitutional occupation of all living entities. The living entities are meant to render service to the Lord, and they can attain religious perfection by this service attitude. One cannot attain religious perfection simply by speculating to attain theoretical knowledge. The Gnani division of spiritualists go on speculating only to distinguish the soul from matter, but they have no information of the activities of the soul after being liberated by knowledge. It is said that persons who only mentally speculate to know things as they are and who do not engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord are simply wasting their time. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mata, thank you. Mental speculation, Prabhupada always writes, mental speculation is not good. One has to surrender, one has to develop service attitude and develop love for Krishna. Engage in transcendental. This is frequent Prabhupada. Engaging in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. That means chanting, hearing, remembering, serving, developing service attitude. That's more important. Okay. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. How long you can mentally speculate? Our mind is limited. Our intelligence is limited. Our speculation is also limited. How long you can speculate? That's not good. Sandhya Mata, please continue. Somebody join 11th one. Who is this? Akincham Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You read, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you. It is clearly said here Yeah, it is clearly said that here that the principle of the service was generated from the legs of the Lord for the sake of perfecting the religious process. But the transcendental service is different from the idea of the service in the material world. In the material world, no one wants to be a servant. Everyone wants to become master because false because false mastership is the basic disease of the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul is the conditioned soul in the material world wants to lord it over others. Illusioned by the external energy of the Lord, he is forced to become a servant of the material world. That is the real position of the conditioned soul. The last, the last snare of the illusory external energy is the conception of becoming one with the Lord. And due to the conception, the illusioned soul remains in the bondage of the material energy, falsely thinking himself liberated soul and as good as Narayan.
Thank you, Babu.
Thank you.
Okay, Rashmi Mataji?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
It is actually better to be
Mm.
It is actually better to be a Shudra than to be a Brahmana and not develop the service attitude, because that attitude alone satisfies the Lord. Every living being, even if he be a Brahmana by qualification, must take to the transcendental service of the Lord. Both Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam support that this service attitude is the perfection of the living entity. A Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra can perfect his occupational duties only by rendering service unto the Lord. A Brahmana is supposed to know this fact due to his perfection in Vedic wisdom. In other section, are supposed to follow the direction of the Brahmana Vaishnava, one who is Brahmana by qualification and a Vaishnava by action. That will make the entire society perfect in regard to the order of its social construction. A disordered society cannot satisfy either the member of the society or the Lord. Even if one is not a perfect Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, but takes to the service of the Lord, not caring for the perfection of his social position, he become a perfect human being simply by developing the attitude of the service of the Supreme Lord. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. We'll stop here actually. There are two verses we will recite from Chaitanya Charitamrita based on this, what is the service attitude? What is this? He becomes a perfect human being simply by developing the attitude of service to the Supreme Lord. Okay. So two verses, let me share. Okay, 1 second.
We can complete, actually, there is only 4 or 5 verses. Yeah. With the chapter.
Hmm.
Can you check once?
Purports ఉన్నాయి కదా, purports ఏం లేదు చూడు ఒకసారి book లో.
Yeah, purpose చిన్న అంటే ఉన్నాయి, కాకపోతే we can complete.
రేపు కంప్లీట్ చేద్దాం ఎందుకంటే విత్ సుబోధిని. ఓకే, విల్ కంటిన్యూ టుమారో. We'll go to with Sloka. Actually, I want to share these two Chaitanya Charitamrita slokas. When Srila Prabhupada writes service attitude, what is service attitude? Service attitude from Chaitanya Charitamrita. What is that? We'll see and we'll wrap up. Okay. We'll continue tomorrow. No rush. With Subodhini, Raju Prabhu, thank you for sharing Subodhini. SB Subodhini will continue with that tomorrow. Okay. Let me share. Yes. You all know, must be heard many times. కాబట్టి ఇది మనం ఎప్పుడైనా ఫస్ట్ లైన్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. దర్ ఇస్ అనదర్ కంప్లీట్ వర్స్ ఇస్ దేర్ యాక్చువల్లీ. దిస్ ఈస్ సిసి మధ్య 20 చాప్టర్ 108 and 109. ద కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ పొజిషన్ ఆఫ్ ఎ లివింగ్ ఎంటిటీ. అవర్ నేచర్ ఈస్ టు సర్వ్ సుప్రీం లార్డ్. చైతన్య మహాప్రభుస్ టీచింగ్స్. జీవేర స్వరూపం హాయి కృష్ణేర నిత్యదాస, కృష్ణేర తటస్థ శక్తి భేద प्रकाश सूर्यांशा किरणै च अग्निज्वाला छाया स्वाभाविक कृष्णेरातेन प्रकार शक्ति हाया. Read translation, please. Anybody?
It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna because he is a marginal energy of Krishna and a manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, like a molecular particle of sunshine or fire. Krishna has three varieties of energy.
అంతా ఉంటుంది అది లాంగ్ సబ్జెక్ట్ మ్యాటర్. ఇది అంతరంగ శక్తి, తటాష్ట శక్తి అండ్ బహిరంగ శక్తి. వీఆర్ లివింగ్ ఎంటిటీస్. తటాష్ట శక్తి అంటే మనం పైగోలేము, కింద మధ్యలో ఉన్నాం అనమాట. బట్ వీఆర్ క్వాలిటేటివ్లీ వన్ విత్ కృష్ణ, బట్ క్వాంటిటేటివ్ డిఫరెంట్. సో వీ హ్యావ్ క్వాలిటీ, ద సేమ్ క్వాలిటీ కృష్ణ as సచిదానంద విగ్రహ, as soul is the soul's nature is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Sat means eternal, Chit means knowledgeable, Ananda means blissful. So Krishna is there, Krishna is having that. We come from Krishna. Mamaiva Amsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We also have that Sachidananda. But we didn't develop the service attitude. We wanted to become master. We wanted to become proprietor. We wanted to have controllership just like Krishna. That's why we fall down here. Krishna created this material world to rebellious souls to become like that and rectify and come back. Another important verse, we all know this one. Gopi, last statement మనం frequent గా చెప్తాము. గోపి భార్తృ పద కమలయోర్ దాస 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 అన్నది. నాహం విప్రన చానరపతిర్నాపి వైశ్యో న శూద్రో నాహం వర్ణి న చ గృహపతిర్న వైష్ణవనస్తో యాతిర్వా కింతు ప్రోద్యాన్నిఖిల పరమానంద పూర్ణామృతాద్భైర్ గోపీ భార్తుర్ పదల కమలయోర్ దాస దాసానుదాస. ఏం చెప్తున్నారు ఇక్కడ? ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏ బ్రాహ్మణ, క్షత్రియ, వైశ్య, శూద్ర. దెన్ హూ am I? ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏ బ్రహ్మచారి, హౌస్ హోల్డర్, వానప్రస్థ, సన్యాసి. ఆ ఫోర్ వర్ణాస్ అండ్ ఫోర్ ఆశ్రమాస్ కావంటున్నాడు. దెన్ ఏంటిది? ఐడెంటిఫై మై సెల్ఫ్ ఓన్లీ యాజ్ సర్వెంట్ ఆఫ్ లోటస్ ఫీట్ ఆఫ్ సుప్రీం లార్డ్ కృష్ణ, ద మెయింటైనర్ ఆఫ్ ద గోపీస్. ఈజ్ లైక్ ఎన్ ఓషన్ ఆఫ్ నెక్టర్ and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. So ఈ రెండు వరుసలలో అల్టిమేట్ థింగ్ ఏంది? సర్వీస్ attitude. We have to develop that service attitude. Okay. How to develop the service attitude? Start with chanting only. So chanting is the greatest service to Supreme Lord. Engaging our tongue, our mind, our ear, using in Krishna's service. To start with. Thank you very much, devotees. Spoken very long. Now let us continue with our sloka practice. This is the last verse of our BhaktiVaibhava exam. 4-9-11th verse. We'll continue. Before that, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all for reading Bhagavatam 3rd canto, 6th chapter, creation, the universal creation. So let us continue with our Bhagavatam, Dhruva Maharaj prayer. Okay. Sharing here. Okay. 4-9-11. మీరు చేస్తారా బ్రో? what is your situation? You said you wanted to be in hearing mode. Lalit Mohan Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Still in hearing mode.
Okay, I can manage. Okay, thank you. So same tune, no? Last time we have learned long back. ఏం ట్యూన్ ఇది ఉంది కదా ఇప్పుడు? ధ్రువ వాచ. నేను లాస్ట్ ఫ్రైడే చేసినాం కదా. ఏం ట్యూన్ చెప్పండి, ఎనీబడి రిమెంబర్?
योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्ताम्.
Yes, mother. Like that. Same, this one also same tune, okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
2 lines, then directly 4 lines together, okay? Bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayi me prasang. That's the same.
Pravahatam tvayi me prasango.
You recite, we follow, okay? Go ahead.
Bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayi me prasango.
రెండు చేయండి. It's okay. రెండు చేయండి తర్వాత. Bhakti
Swayame prasango bhuyadananta mahatamalashayana.
प्रसंगो भूयातनंत महता ममलाशयानाम्
Bhakti
Muhu pravahataam tvayime prasango bhuyadananta mahatamalashayana.
प्रवृत्तां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयातनंत महता ममलाशयानाम्
Bhakti muhu tvayime
प्रसंगो
bhuyadananta mahatamalashayana.
उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेशे भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
Solvanam urvyasanam bhavabdim nite bhavadguna katamritapanamattaha.
येनाञ्जसोल्बनम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं हरे कृष्ण येनाञ्जसोल्बनम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं
येनाञ्जसोल्बनं उर्व्यसनं
Bhavadguna katamritapanamattaha.
येनाञ्जसोल्बनम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं
येनाञ्जसोल्बनं उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं
नेशे भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता नेशे भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयातनन्तमहताम् अमलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसोल्बनम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
भक्तिं मुहुः
त्वयि मे प्रसंगो
प्रसंगो
भूयादनन्तमहतामलाशयानाम्
येनाञ्जसोल्बनम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयादनन्तमहतामलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसोल्बनम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेशे भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
भक्तिं प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयादनन्तमहतामलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसोल्बनमुर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयातनन्तमहतामलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसोल्बनमुर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेशे भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
भक्तिं प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयादनन्तमहतामलाशयानाम् नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता
Hare Krishna, you're on mute. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, are we doing individual practice?
Yeah, that's what my Prabhuji, I don't know what he's doing. But you can
We are
do
not able
Mataji.
to hear you. His message, put a message.
We'll do some synonyms and translation. You can do.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Is that okay?
Yeah. Now we can hear you, Babuji.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know why somehow internet. Okay. Synonyms: Bhaktim, devotion service. Is it audible? Correct? Okay.
Yes,
Audible.
Yes, Babuji.
can.
Bhaktim, devotional service. Muhu, constantly. Pravahatam, of those who perform. Tvai, unto you. May, my. Prasanga, intimate association. Bhuyat, may it become. Ananta, O unlimited. Mahatam, of the great devotees. Amala Ashayanam, whose hearts are freed from material contamination. Amala Ashayanam, beautiful word. Whose hearts are freed from material contamination. Yena, by which. Anjasha, easily. Ulbanam, terrible. Uru, great. Vesanam, full of dangers. Bhavabdim, the ocean of middle existence. Nesye, I shall cross. Bhavat, your guna, transcendental qualities. Katha, past tense. Amruta, nectar, eternal. Amruta, nectar, eternal. Pana, by drinking. Matta, mad. Read translation, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can I read, Prabhuji?
Go ahead, Mataji.
Translation. Dhruva Maharaj continue, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving services constantly, as the waves of the river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes, which are eternally existence. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Beautiful prayer, beautiful prayer. Thank you so much. So let us practice. First, let me recite for myself, exam. My exam on the Sunday, Saturday, Sundays. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.9.11. Bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayi me prasango bhuyatananta mahatam amalashayanam yenanjasolbanam uruvyasanam bhavabdim nesye bhavadgunakatamritapanamatta. Translation: Dhruva Maharaja continued, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly, as the waves of river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire-like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes, which are eternally existent. Haribol. Vani Mata, you want to do?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll go. Bhaktim moha pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyadhananta mahatam amalasyayanam yene jasolabhanam uruvyasanam vyavaptim nishe bhavat guna kathamritapana. Translation. Dhruva Maharaj continued, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly, as the waves of a river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire-like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes, which are eternally existent. ఇంత పెద్దది గుర్తుంచుకోవడం చాలా కష్టం ప్రభుజీ. I don't know how we are going to remember this time.
చిన్న చిన్న సెంటెన్స్ లాగా విడగొట్టుకొని చేయాలి మొత్తం. కొన్ని వర్డ్స్ చూసుకొని ఇందులో ఈ సినానిమ్స్ లో కొన్ని వర్డ్స్, ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఒక వర్డ్ ఉంది. ఏంది? ఇఫ్ సి అమలాశయానాం, హార్ట్స్ ఆర్ ఫ్రీ ఫ్రమ్, అట్లాంటి కొన్ని వర్డ్స్. అండ్ భవాబ్దిం.
Yeah.
ఇట్లాంటి కొన్ని వర్డ్స్ అట్లా గుర్తుపెట్టుకొని ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ we can try to అంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్ వర్డ్ టు వర్డ్ చూడాలి అవుతుంది అట్లీస్ట్ వీ హ్యావ్ సమ్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ సమ్ ఏంటంటే ఏమంటారు భావం చేయకుండా ఈ ఉన్న words లో అసలు ఏం చెప్తున్నారు అనేది కొంచెం మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ చదివితే వచ్చేస్తుంది ఇట్స్ ఓకే ప్రాబ్లం లేదు
Yes,
ఓకే డివోటీస్ ప్లీజ్ రిసైట్ దిస్ వన్ శ్లోకం వరకే ఓకే ప్లీజ్ టైం ఆల్సో ఎవరు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు నెక్స్ట్ హూ
I do,
వాంట్స్ టు
Prabhuji.
డూ ఇట్
Bhaktim
ఒకరికొకరు
Prabhuji.
సారీ అవుతుంది ఒకరికొకరు లిఫ్ట్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్ ఆర్ స్టార్ట్ రిసైడ్ పిలవాల్సింది ఏం లేదు డైరెక్ట్ చేయండి
Yes, Prabhuji. Bhaktim muhu pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyadhananta mahatam amalashyanam yenanja solbanam uruvyasanam bhavabdhim nesye bhavadguna katamritapanamatta. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Bhaktim muhu pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyadanantamahataam amalasayanam enanja solbanam uruvyasanam bhavabdhim nisye bhavadgunakatamritapanamatta.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bhaktim muhu pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyat ananta mahatam amalasayanam yenanja solbanam uruvyasanam bhavabdhim nesye bhavadguna kathamritapanamatta. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'll recite. Bhaktim muhu pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyadhananta mahatam amalasayanam enanjanasalobamuruvasanam bhavabdhim nesye bhavadguna katamritapanamatta. Thank you, Prabhuji.
థ్యాంక్ యూ
Yeah, I'll do Prabhuji.
చేయండి ప్రభుజీస్ ఇంకెవరైనా చేయాలనుకుంటే చేయండి ప్లీజ్
Bhaktim prahataam tvayemi prasango bhuyadananta mahatam amalasayanam enanja urvavyasanam bhavadhim nise bhavad gunakatamritam panamatta. Hare Krishna.
జై
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Bhaktim muhu pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyadanantamatam amalashayanam yenanja solbanam uruvyasanam bhavabdhim nesye bhavadgunakatamritapanamattaha. Hare Krishna.
థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభుజీస్ అండ్ మాతాజీస్ లావణ్య యూ వాంట్ టు డూ వన్ మోర్ టైం
Hare Krishna. Bhaktim muhu pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyatananta mahatam amalashayanam enanja solbanam uruvyasanam bhavabdim neshe bhavadgunakatamritapanamatta. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ అందరు అయిపోయినట్టే కదా ఎనీబడి లెఫ్ట్ డన్ ఎస్ ఐ థింక్ డన్ రాజు ప్రభు చేయలేదు రాజు ప్రభు వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ సిచ్యువేషన్ లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభు ఇన్ హియరింగ్ మోడ్ ఓన్లీ మాధవి మాతాజీ ఐఎమ్ సీయింగ్ హరే కృష్ణ మాతాజీ
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I need some practice, Prabhuji. Just now.
మాతాజీ
I need some practice, Prabhuji.
ఓకే యు వాంట్ టు ట్రై ఒకసారి మా ఆమె చేస్తుంది మా లావణ్య విల్ డూ యు వాంట్ టు ఫాలో అండ్ రిసైట్
Okay, Prabhuji.
చేయమ్మా ఒకసారి మరోసారి
You carry on, Hare Krishna, please. You already know that tune.
మాధవి యూ రిపీట్ ఆఫ్టర్ మీ ఓకే మాధవి మాతాజీ ఓకే భక్తి
sure, Prabhuji.
నాకు కూడా ఎగ్జామ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఉంటుంది ఓకే ఎస్ భక్తిం ముహు ప్రవతాం త్వయి మే ప్రసంగో
Bhaktim muhu pravatam tvayame prasango
భూయాతనంత మహతాం అమలాశయానాం
भूयादनन्तमाताम् अमलाशयानाम्
येनाञ्जशोल्बनम् उरुव्यसनं भवाब्धिम्
येनाञ्जसोलभम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिम्.
ఇది మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చేస్తాను ఇంకా 2 టైమ్స్ చేసి ట్రై చేయండి ఓకే ఏనాంజసోల్బనం ఉరువ్యసనం భవాబ్దిం
येनाञ्जसोलभम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिम् भवाब्धिम्.
భవాబ్దిం ఏనాంజసోల్బనం ఏనాంజసోల్బనం ఉరువ్యసనం భవాబ్దిం
येनाञ्जसोलभम् उर्व्यसनं भवाब्धिम्.
నేష్యే భవద్గుణకథామృతపానమత్త
निशे भवद्गुण कथामृतपानमथ.
ఒకసారి మొత్తం చేసాం అవుతుంది ఇట్స్ ఓకే మీకు మీరు అంతకుముందు ధ్రువమర ప్రేయర్స్ మేము లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఎప్పుడో చేశాము సో దట్స్ వేర్ సమ్ డివోటీస్ ఇట్స్ బికమ్ ఈజీ మీరు ఇప్పుడే కొత్త స్టార్ట్ చేసేది కాబట్టి ఇట్స్ ఇట్ లుక్స్ లైక్ దట్ వన్ ఒకసారి మొత్తం చేస్తాం మీరు కొంచెం మంచిగా ఫోకస్ చేయండి యూ విల్ గెట్ ఇట్ ఇట్స్ ఓకే తప్పులు పోయినా డజంట్ మ్యాటర్ నో ప్రాబ్లం ఐ విల్ డూ కంప్లీట్ 4 లైన్స్ యూ హియర్ అండ్ ట్రై టు రిసైట్ భక్తిం ముహు ప్రవహతాం పయి మే ప్రసంగో భూయాతనంతమహతాం అమలాశయానాం ఏనాంజసోల్బనం ఉర్వ్యసనం భవాద్భిం నేస్యే భవద్గుణ కథామృతపానమత్త మధ్య మధ్యలో 1 seconds or 2 seconds వర్డ్స్ మధ్యలో యూ కెన్ టేక్ బ్రేక్ సో దట్ ఇట్ బికమ్స్ ఈజీ
Okay, I'll try. भक्तिं मुहुप्रवतं त्वल्मे प्रसङ्गो भूयादनन्तमाताम् अमलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसोलभनम् उर्व्यासनं भवद्भिम् निशे भवद्गुण कथामृतपानमत्त.
Yeah, nice. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you all devotees for spending time today in the morning calls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल see you all tomorrow Hare Krishna okay KC Monday Krishna conscious Monday go ahead